So get up and unite for your team. Give the best we've got. Guess how we
every plan, every bat, every pitch, every pan, every deal, every wicket, every soul. And the art and soul and passion, and the culture, Caribbean glows. When playing from out all nation, with the team in a unification. When the stadium ram bleach at the grandstand, and the meaning of unification.
It's how we play.
Guyana is a place of remarkable beauty and sweeping forestry. It is the center of attention today for the first playoff of the 2018 CPL.
Quick single. Oh, it'll be tight. Let's have a look at this one.
It might have been a rusty start for TKR, but they've turned the tables and their fortunes around.
Gone.
A top of the table finish means they face the Guyana Amazon Warriors for a first-class ticket to Sunday's final. The loser will have one more chance on Friday.
Look at the celebrations. Richly deserving. A team back against the...
Welcome to Matchday Live from CNC3 Studios in Port of Spain. All eyes though are on Providence Stadium in Guyana for what promises to be an epic duel for an automatic spot in the final. Which team will take the express train to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, and which one will have to make one more stop to try to get to the final? My name is Ryan Beju. We're just minutes away from match time, and the matches only get more important from here on in. It's finals week in the CPL. The 6 teams have been cut down to the final 4. We're building up to TKR versus the Amazon Warriors. Tomorrow, the Jamaica Talawas takes on the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots in the second game of the playoffs. Tonight, though, TKR enters the Lion's Den in Guyana. The crowds there have been superb and intimidating. Can Dwayne Bravo's men shut out a noisy environment and get the job done? Let's check out how both teams are looking heading into this match. TKR finished atop the 6-team table with 14 points. Only by virtue of a better net run rate, the Amazon Warriors were able to snatch second from the Jamaica Talawas. St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots wasn't far behind in 4th. The form table is pretty close as well. TKR has won 4 of its last 5 matches. They lost just 3 in the round-robin stages, including the last one against the Amazon Warriors on Sunday night. The hosts, on the other hand, has been quite inconsistent as the tournament has worn on. 2 wins and 2 losses, and another win in the last 5 matches for them. If we must be honest, both these sides have been driven by the brilliance of 2 men. And those 2 men have been at the top of the order. They really are the key players for their respective sides. Colin Monroe has been TKR's talisman. He's the top scorer in the tournament so far with 470 runs. Look at his average though. Every time he bats, he's expected to score over 50 runs. More importantly, in this form of the game, he strikes at 142. If he gets off tonight, the Amazon Warriors could be left in a maze. But he's matched by an equally exquisite talent in 21-year-old Shimron Hetmeyer. This kid has racked up 386 runs during the round-robin stages. He scores almost 43 runs every time he bats in this tournament. The strike rate is even better than that of Monroe. It's over 154. They go head-to-head tonight in the height of the Amazon. You're watching Matchday Live on CNC3. When we come back, is the pitch going to pose a problem for the bowlers? And what changes, if any, should the TKR team make? I sit down with former West Indies fast bowler and international cricket commentator Ian Bishop to preview the first playoff.
If, let's say, TKR have to bat first, then they really need to bat well against that bowling attack.
It's how we play. It's how we play.
Welcome back to Matchday Live. As good as TKR has done this season, there are still many questions to be answered heading into the finals week. Have they gotten the team selection just right? What are the weaknesses they still need to work on? Before he jetted off to Guyana for this playoff, I sat down with Ian Bishop to help analyze this first playoff. Ian Bishop, welcome to Matchday Live. TKR versus Guyana Amazon Warriors. Did you see these 2 teams making it into the top 2?
Kind of, in the sense that I knew TKR would be there based on the way they played early and obviously finished the season. I thought Jamaica Talawas might have had a chance to be in that top 2 as well, but I really liked the team that Guyana put out on the field last night against TKR.
Yeah, That's a huge talking point because there was some shuffling in the TKR team. Anderson Phillip in, Kevin Cooper in. They lost the match quite handsomely as well. So how much is that going to play on the minds of Dwayne Bravo and his TKR team?
I think obviously it's not ideal to lose in the way that they lost the game before their playoff run. But I don't think it will be too much of a battle because they've got some senior guys. Certainly Sunil Ryan should come back into that squad in my view. Once he's fit, and a little bit more reshuffling. But again, I am impressed with the Guyana squad, the Amazon squad that was put out to that game. If, let's say, TKR have to bat first, then they really need to bat well against that bowling attack.
What would you say that TKR needs to get right? You've looked at the entire 3 weeks of competition. What do they have to work on in this final week of competition to go all the way at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy?
Well, first of all, it won't be as easy as people think because Talawas are playing some good cricket. Patriots are the ones that really have to lift their game, in my view. So for TKR, I think their batting seems to be okay. I think that'll acquit itself well. I'm a little bit worried sometimes about the bowling perspective of things, and particularly the seam bowling options. And once they can get that right, I think their spinners are very good, and I think the batting will look after themselves. So I'm looking seam bowling options. Yeah. Talking
about the batting, Chris Lynn out. Colin Ingram is in. What do you make of his first stay at the crease last night? It wasn't much of a long stay. This late change for TKR, does that work against them?
I think Ingram should fit right in. Look, he's been a very good player. We didn't see the best of him in that first game for him. But, you know, from what he's been doing in England, from what he's been doing around the world, the guys are speaking highly of him, his power to hit the ball. So I think he will acclimate himself. He has 2 bites of the cherry if needed anyway. So I think he'll acclimate himself well to that team.
What do you think about the overall TKR team this time around? Did they get the selection right?
Look, we can argue here and there about Narayan, for example, opening the batting as long as he did without doing anything. I don't think they'll miss Lynn too much because Lynn really didn't fire in the tournament just to come back to the Ingram point. But I think generally, the way Carrie Pierce come into the team every time and done well has been exceptional. Anderson Phillip had a bad game, but I think he's a good player to come in the future. So I think most of the selections were okay.
Let's shift our focus a little bit to the CPL as a tournament, the bigger picture, as we would call it. It's here really to aid and assist West Indies cricket. Is it doing that? It's been 6 years since this tournament has started.
I think there are 1 or 2 more things that I'd like to see CPL stretch out and do. Maybe do a little bit more scouting, get guys to do a little bit more scouting, offer maybe a few more options for some of the regional players who are doing quite well, young players coming through, and find more young players. But generally, I think it's excited the Caribbean region. Look at the crowds. Look at the crowds in Ghana. Look at the crowds at the Queen's Park Oval. I don't think there's a better crowd anywhere else in the world. So I think it's doing a job. It's doing a really good job, and I would push them to do even more.
Has it reinvigorated and re-energized and gotten back the interest in West Indies cricket from a fan's perspective? Crowds that you don't see at Test match or one-day internationals.
Absolutely. I mean, the Oval was jam-packed on Friday. That is the loudest I've ever heard the Queen's Park Oval. There may have been crowds that have been equally loud, but nothing louder than that. So you look at what came out in Barbados for a franchise that was failing this season as well. Look, I think it's reinvigorated. A lot of young kids want to be able to come up and play in the CPL and then go further afield internationally.
DRS for the final 2 matches of this tournament. Is that unfortunate that we didn't have it for the entire tournament? Is it a disadvantage for many of the teams that we didn't have it throughout the tournament? And what do you make of having it for the final 2 matches?
I'm pleased it's here. I've been advocating this for about 3 years now. People have heard me saying it on commentary. It's a cost issue. Obviously, it costs a lot, so I understand from the management point of view how restricted it can be, but I think it needs to be instituted right through. Pity that some of the umpiring has not been at its best, and that to me is a real pity because those guys work really hard. But I'm glad it's here, and I hope that we can have it full time from here on.
So it's close to match time, Bish. What do you make of this Guyanese pitch? What should we be looking at? What's the team selection, in your view, should be like for this match?
Look, Once Narayan's fit, I think Narayan has to come back in. As far as the pitch is concerned, it's a better pitch than it has been in years gone by. So I want to compliment the Guyanese ground staff and management for doing that. More runs are being scored on the surface. So, but again, I'll have to wait until I get there, see the pitch to make a final determination whether it should be a more heavily based seam attack or spin attack. But I think generally, with real reference to the batting, I think the batting is okay. Just positionally, guys have to be settled.
One of the challenges in this Caribbean Premier League and any league tournament really is adapting to each pitch as you travel throughout the Caribbean, and also when you go to Florida. Has Dwayne Bravo and his management team gotten that selection right?
Look, I don't want to quell too much on TKR selection. They top the table, so I don't know that it's too much of a problem. We saw Ramden elevated at different times and succeed. We saw him bat well in the middle of the innings. The only question was that Lynn and Narayan weren't firing. That was a big thing for TKR. I think they'll have sussed that. I think they will suss that the way Monroe has played. And it's a challenge for every team. St. Lucia's a fantastic pitch. Jamaica was brilliant. Lauderhill was good. So I think generally pitches around the Caribbean are getting better.
Thank you, Bish. Coming up after the break, you'll hear from the captains ahead of tonight's match. And have your mobiles right on hand. There's a lot to win after this.
This is how we play. This is how we play. This is how we play.
Okay guys, so in the newsroom we have a lot of CPL fans and by extension TKR fans, but how much do they really know about CPL cricket and TKR team? Well, throughout the series of the show we'll be testing their knowledge, starting with my good friend Akash Samaru. Akash, we're about to slap Akash with 6 questions, 6 easy questions as well. Akash is a huge sports fan, you would have seen that during the World Cup. Let me just go down a little bit. Okay Akash, 30 seconds on the clock please. Thank you. Who has scored the highest score in this year's CPL tournament?
That will be Andre Russell.
Andre Russell is correct, 121 runs against TKR. What edition of the CPL is this?
6.
6th edition is correct. How many matches in total are there in this year's CPL?
Ooh.
Pass. Pass. Which team won the first CPL tournament?
Tallowers.
Correct. What is the top scorer in this tournament? Or who is the top scorer right now?
Colin Monroe.
Correct. Who has hit the most sixes so far in the CPL?
Darren Bravo.
I think it just made it on time, or probably just over time, but 5 out of 6. Congratulations on that, Akash. How many matches are total in this year's CPL tournament? 34 matches. We're down to the 31st, TNT. Akash Samaru, just 1 wrong out of 6 questions. I wonder how Hema Ramkissoon is actually going to do on this program. She's a huge CPL fan, well, at least I think so. She attends all the matches. Now, you've been connecting with us, and we encourage you to connect with us. We've got a few giveaways. If I can just go across and just pull these giveaways into screen. We've got these autographed bats, and we've also got some CPL t-shirts as well to give away. So give us a call. The first caller gets both. Also, let's bring up some social media comments. You guys have been keeping wonderfully in touch with us via social media. Chandra saying, oh, we've actually got a call, so let's see who's on the line first. Hello, good afternoon to you. Hello.
Yeah, hello, good day.
Hi, good day. I'm guessing that you're backing TKR. Do you think we're good enough to win tonight?
Yes, of course, TKR.
All right, so stay on the line. My producer is going to take your name and take your number and keep in touch with us. You've just won yourself a wonderful TKR t-shirt and a cricket bat autograph, all the autographs of the team on it. Now, let's just bring up some of those social media comments. Chandra Singh was actually in touch with us via social media. Here's what she had to say. We asked, do you think that defeat on Sunday night against the Amazon Warriors will affect? She says, what will be very important this evening is a toss. TKR will, in fact, be batting first, not bowling first, so she's hoping that they score just about 200 runs. Leanne DeFreitas says yes, but looking at that last game, I personally think they need to send out all the weak players and bat first. Agreed with you as well. Madonna Brandon says no, that's not going to affect TKR. They just need to stay focused and they would achieve their goal. We certainly hope the Trinbago Knight Riders team achieve their goal. That's the Matchday Live show for this one, the first playoff. Trinbago Knight Riders versus the Guyana Amazon Warriors. Guyana Amazon Warriors did win the toss. They've elected to bowl first, so we're hoping that the TKR team can make in excess of 200 runs. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we go straight to Providence Stadium for the first playoff of the CPL 2018 Finals Week.